What a spectacular season it's been for Sidney Jean-Charles. In his second Major League season, he has emerged as the top superstar in all of baseball and has now broken the single-season home run record. And the chase to number 74 was so much fun. Sidney broke the record on the final day of the regular season, capping off a historic year where he hit 74 home runs, 167 RBIs, and hit 371. We've been focused a lot on the stats for Sidney, and now it's time for all of that to go away. It's time for the playoffs. What we really want from this season is a World Series championship, and the Cardinals have already made it to the playoffs as the number 1 seed in the National League with the best record in baseball, winning 107 games. But that won't mean much if we can't make it deep into the postseason and have a chance to win a World Series title. Today's video will cover our first series, the NLDS against the Cincinnati Reds, however many games that will be. And when this season comes to an end, whether it's after this episode or after a World Series win, I will be moving on to do some different content here on the channel, and perhaps we'll see Sidney in the future. But I do want to wrap up Road to the Show for the time being at the conclusion of this season to work on some other ideas I've been wanting to check out. So with that, everybody, we've had some intense games lately, but now it's time for postseason baseball with Sidney Jean-Charles. And of course, we are trying to avenge what happened to us a year ago with the reverse sweep that knocked us out. And it's a familiar foe for the Cardinals and Sidney as we faced the Reds just last episode. So we just got to see all these pitchers that we're about to face. And they're pretty good. They kept Sidney from hitting home runs in that series for the most part. And here we go. Steven Matz is on the mound. Game 1, NLDS. We begin in St. Louis. And we'll start off against Luis Castillo. Sidney in his career against Castillo, just 3 for 14 with 1 home run. We got Tommy Edman on first base as we get started in a scoreless ball game. Late on it there. He does have pretty good heat. Got to be ready for that. It's tough when it's your first game of the day and you're already facing the threat of triple-digit fastballs. 0-1. He goes, and a ball off the plate. And Edman is thrown out at second. Looked like a pretty close play there. Let's see how close it was. Actually, they got him by a mile on that one. So now it's 2 down and Sidney with nobody aboard. Nice changeup away. 2 strikes on Sidney. And a drive in the air toward deep center field. Given a ride. This one is gone. A solo shot to start the postseason. 75 home runs this year. Obviously, that won't count towards the record. Really wish Tommy Edman was on base for that one. Just got one low there, and he can drive pretty much anything, as we've seen throughout this season. Every location they've tried to attack him, he's found a way to take him yard. It's 1-0 St. Louis. Max Schrock at the plate now. Steven Matz with 2 on, nobody down. Into shallow center. And Sidney takes care of it. But it looks like Cincinnati did capitalize just afterwards. 3-1. 2 on, 1 down here for Sid. Let's focus on swinging at the right pitches here and not chasing against Castillo as he looks for that ground ball double play. Well, that was a pretty good pitch to swing at. And Sidney staying patient as the count goes 2-1. Really don't want to put this thing on the ground. Inside, 3-1. In the last series against the Reds, they forced Sydney to play very patiently. 3-1. Castillo deals. Ooh, that was ball 4. So that challenge failed. Hard to read that one, though. Change up down and in. Now full count from Castillo. Inside. That one can go either way, but we take, and now it's Arenado's turn. He went yard 40 times this year. Between him and Sydney, over 110 homers. 110 RBIs for him as well. It was a really good season for Nolan. And he chases it. Uncharacteristically falling behind 0-2. Castillo trying to get him. And it is grounded to third. Out at second, double play. And the inning comes to an end. Not the type of at-bat we're used to seeing at all from Nolan Arenado. 4-1 Cincinnati. Steven Matz is still in there, so despite the early runs allowed, we do not go to our bullpen. And Joey Gallo lifts this one for Sid. But Castillo going strong in this game. It's bottom 6. The only run allowed for him off the bat of Jean Charles earlier in the game. Bottom 6, nobody on. Wow, blew it by him at 97. This time from Castillo, 2-2. Going the other way, a little late on the swing, and a routine play in left. Sydney, 1 for 2 on the day now with a walk and a home run. Good start for the Cincinnati offense. Already 8 hits. And a guy here who can hit it a long way, that's for sure. Joey Gallo. Shallow center again. Sydney coming in. And he takes care of it. If we can hold him to 4 the rest of the way, I think we can find a way to claw our way back with a couple runs. But we go 1-2-3 in the 7th. And we go 1-2-3 in the 8th. It'll take 9th inning heroics, starting with Sydney Jean Charles with 1 down. Lucas Sims is the pitcher, with the Reds trying to steal home field away from us. Down 3 here in the 9th. Strike 1. Again, very late. Indecisive on that one. 0-2 from Lucas Sims. We go contact. Take that. And he gets under it, but it's popped up in the shallow right center field, and it falls in! Sydney hustles out a double on a blooper that was just past the outstretched glove. I was sure that was a pop-out. But hey, when you hit 371, there's some batted ball luck in there. Sydney got a little bit of it right there to keep this game going. So we're going to need a better at-bat now from Nolan. And they want to pick off Sid. We don't want to give him a chance. Strike 1, swung on and missed by Arenado. And he swings and misses again for strike 2. Arenado behind. 1-2 from Lucas Sims. I can't steal a sign. That's too high. Inside now. It backs him off to make it 3-2. Nolan just trying to reach. Paul Goldschmidt would represent the tying run in that event. And he's going to battle. And he chases it. Strike 3 on the slider from Sims. Yep, that is the pitch you had to lay off there. Arenado couldn't do it. 2 down. It's actually Corey Dickerson behind Arenado, not Goldschmidt. Corey 0 for 3 on the day. Strike 1. To the right side, grounded, and Sims covers, and the game is over. The Reds have taken Game 1 behind a brilliant start from Luis Castillo. 4-1 is the final. The Cardinals can only score on a solo homer by Sidney Jean-Charles. The Reds wrestle away home field advantage. And now Game 2 is really going to put the pressure on us before the series moves to Cincinnati. Only 5 hits for St. Louis, 2 of them from Sidney. We got to score much more in this game. We cannot have an offensive output like that. The rain falls. We put Jordan Wicks on the mound this time. And we'll face Nick Lodolo. He's a lefty. So Sidney now first right-handed postseason at-bats. Runner on first. Missing high, and it's 2-0. All right, chase that one upstairs. Didn't really chase it, just put a bad swing on it. 2-1. And a chopper left side. To second, and on to first, a double play. Sidney got something to hit, but got on top of the ball. They had the third baseman there in the perfect position to cut it off. Didn't even realize Cincinnati even scored in the first, and now a 2-run homer. It's 3-0. What is happening right now? 107 win Cardinals certainly didn't expect this. They got us on the ropes already. We're only 12 innings into this series. And we got to get out of this jam. It's 3-0. Bases loaded now. Nick Senzel. Is that 2 homers just here in the postseason? Shallow center. Sidney racing in. He secures it. But now in the fourth, it's 5-0. What's going on with the pitching suddenly? We throw our 2 best out there, and they're both getting rocked. But at the same time, we only have 1 run here in the entire series. Sidney facing a 2-2 count. High drive, deep left field. This one's got a chance, and Sidney puts the Cardinals on the board once again. A solo shot down the line and left, and it's 5-1 Reds. Sidney with homers in both of these playoff games, and we need someone else to follow it up. Just left it up, and we turned on it there. Cranked to left field. My favorite home runs are the ones you can pull down the line like that. Just turn on the ball and send it. So we're going to need like a stellar performance here out of the bullpen. Into the gap, long run, Sidney. And he will settle under it for the out. Home run, Senzel. Are you kidding me? Is Nick Senzel going to knock us out of the postseason on his own? Here is Nathaniel Lowe. Aiken still in there. It's 6-1 Reds. Sidney to his right. No issue. So we have a runner on. 1 on here for Sidney. Having to do more damage here in the 6th against Lodolo. Ball 1 away. And he gets the outside part of the plate. Wow. Just clipping it for strike 1. Again? What a time for those 2 calls back to back, man. 1-2. In the air, left center field. Over in the gap, the catch is made. And that was going to be right on that inside again, just clipping. And we can't get anything there in the 6th. A double play with 2 on. That's the last thing we need. We are running out of chances and letting this slip away so quickly. Joe Hamill facing Sid. We have a runner on. We're in the 8th inning. We're down to our last 5 outs in this game. Didn't need the chase that one. Strike 2 on Sid. We'll go contact swing. And pop it up. We just missed it. 2 down here in the 8th. Ground out sends us to the 9th. Don't tell me they get more. They don't. Single. We have a walk. And a pop-up. The game is over, and the Reds take the first 2 in St. Louis. We're 1 game away from being knocked out after that season. Sydney has driven in the only 2 runs on solo homers. And now we can't lose another game. We've got to go win 2 on the road, force the series to go back home, and then take it. Unbelievable. We actually have a chance to get swept, when in the playoffs last year we got reverse swept. We won the first 2 and couldn't close. And now we can't even open. So do we have what it takes? Or is this going to be a team that peaked in the regular season, celebrated Sydney's record like it was their personal World Series, and then doesn't show up for the postseason? Well, we know Sydney has done his part to this point, and now we have to do this all against Aaron Nola. 1 run is not going to cut it. We're 7 for 16 with 2 long balls against him, though. So this is a team that he's done well against, and he's hit Nola. 1 down, 1 on. And the drive, first pitch turned on to deep right field at the track. Looking up, and it is caught. A warning track fly out. We have officially scored our first run without Sydney's help. And it's 1-0 entering the 3rd. A better start at least in this game. Fouled off. And a line drive right at short, and Sydney's retired again. A little bit late on that swing. Joey Lucchese's on the mound for us today, and so far he's put up 4 zeros in the 5th inning. Nicely done. And we'll face Nola again here in the 5th. Maybe 1 run could be enough in a game like this. But that misses away. Just missed that one. Came in a little bit slower than I was prepared for. Nola now 2 down here in the 5th. Inside. 2-1. Busted the bat, and the pitcher takes care of it. Just the same thing that happened on the lineout, but worse. So Sydney now having a down day. Everybody else having to pick up the slack. And we got 2 on here. Uh-oh. A solo homer for Lowe. Tied up at 1. Keegan Aiken is on the mound once again for St. Louis. Runner on first. That's a line drive to center field. Sydney is there, and it's going to be first and second Cincinnati. And they don't get anything more. Excellent. Now let's have a better at-bat. How's that sound? 0 for 3 on the day. 2 on and only 1 down here for St. Louis. Joe Hamill pitching to Sydney Jean-Charles in the 7th inning. And he bounces it to the right side, off the glove, and Sydney reaches on a single. Bases loaded, St. Louis. Nolan Arenado has not done much with Sydney on base today. Fouls that back. See, that's Nolan. The fouls are a good sign, but he looks at strike 2, and that's a bad sign. And he waves at it, strike 3 on 3 pitches. We have not seen Nolan play this poorly for a very long time. Corey Dickerson, bases loaded. We just got to get this first win. We can only get 1 game back today. And Dickerson, it's a base hit. They'll wave Sosa. And the throw coming in. Got him at the plate. The Cardinals do take the lead, but the Reds limit the damage. It's a one-run game. Back in front. Can Keegan Aiken protect the lead? This one to center. And Sidney ranges back and makes the catch. 2 singles and a strikeout that ends the inning. We're going into... Wait a minute. No! Senzel did it again! And Sidney might be our last chance. The Reds have taken the lead. 2 on and 1 down for Sidney in what is a do-or-die situation. Oh my. He's who you want up in this scenario, but the pressure in this at-bat, some of the biggest he's faced in his career. Lucas Sims in for the save. Ground ball, base hit left field. They will hold the runner, and it's up to Arenado. Sidney with his second single. We're not letting that pitch go. It's a slider left up. Somehow did not get under it at all. And now, can Arenado tie this game? A base hit might give us the lead. He's had some uncharacteristic at-bats today. 1-0 after the slurve misses. What a spot here in the NLDS. Out in front, strike 1. And he waves at it again. Strike 2, Nolan. What is going on? Sims got him earlier with that slider away. 1-2. Fouled back. That one's high. 2-2. Arenado battling back. And he pops it up. Down the line, deep right field. This one is gone! It's a grand slam! It's a homer for Arenado! And the Cardinals have retaken the lead. No way! I literally thought that was a pop-up. It didn't sound special. It didn't look special coming off the bat. But Nolan goes opposite field. It is a go-ahead grand slam, and this series is far from over. What a swing. Nolan has done it. Now they get a couple base runners in the 9th, but we put this game away and it's over. The Cardinals have stolen Game 3, and their postseason hopes remain intact. What a finish in this one. We blew it in the 8th. They blew it even worse in the 9th. St. Louis was not going to go down like that. And now we try to even the series. Game 4. It's a clear night here in Cincinnati. No weather impacting this one as we face Justin Dunn. We did not face him in that last series. Sidney has homered off of him twice. 4 for 13 lifetime. 2 down here in the first. Tried to turn on that one. Just missing with that one. It is a 2-1 count. Pretty confident already in a few of his pitches. 2-1. Way up there. And the 3-1. Grounded to the right side. Sidney out in front. It's a 1-2-3 first inning for Dunn. 1-0 St. Louis. We strike first in this game. It's top 3 with a runner on first and 2 down. And Sidney takes 2 to start off 2-0. Sosa's speed on first base. That's a drive going to opposite field. Twisting. But it is a lazy fly ball, and Sydney starts off 0 for 2 in Game 4. We'll move ahead, and it's 2-0. No hits yet for the Reds. 2 on, 2 down for Sid. Justin Dunn still in there. 4 hits allowed, 2 runs. Ground ball right to short, an easy out at second base, and it's been a tough day for Sydney at the plate. But a current no-hitter for Steven Matz. So is this on a 4 days rest here? Because this is only Game 4. So we're already going back to the ace, who was not good in Game 1. But he's come back in Game 2, and he's currently got a no-hitter through 5. Arenado goes yard. And they still don't have a hit. They do get one and then score in the 7th. So we are in our bullpen now. And we're just 2 innings away from sending this back to St. Louis. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Thomas Farr is the pitcher, and that one does not get the call, thankfully. Outside, 3-1 to Sydney. Haven't liked any of these pitches yet. And got over aggressive on the change. Nice pitch. 3-2. Outside. So we've reached base a lot in this series. Almost got us on that one with a quick pick. Arenado pops it up. But he is turning his series around quickly. Corey Dickerson now with 1 down. 1-1. And that one is sent a long way to left, but another routine play. What if we try to steal here? Get in range for Goldschmidt. There goes Sydney. And he will be in there safely at second base. Sydney just a base hit from scoring. 2-0 to Paul Goldschmidt. Big cut there, strike 1. And now a drive the other way. Sydney around third, but the catch made. And the Reds keep this a 2-run ball game. They only have 2 hits on the day. 9th inning, we get nothing. And let's jump in. Giovanni Gallegos trying to send us back to St. Louis, where this series will hopefully end. And a drive deep to center. Going back, Sydney cannot do a thing about it. Home run, Nathaniel Lowe. It's a 1-run ball game suddenly. Do not blow this game. Double, ground out, and with 2 away, Tyler Stevenson at the plate. It's a 1-2 count. We're just 1 out away, and the Reds 1 hit away. In the air to center field. Sydney under. He's got it, and we're going back to St. Louis. It's time for us to go and end this series in St. Louis after winning both games in Cincinnati. 2 solo homers for Nolan Arenado. He's officially overtaken Sydney in this NLDS for MVP of the Cardinals. And that means the NLDS will go the distance. Home teams, though, are 0-4 in this series. We finish up against Luis Castillo. We could only manage 2 Sydney solo home runs in the first 2 games of this series. But in the 3rd and 4th games, Nolan Arenado has become the hero. And who's it going to be in Game 5? Jordan Wicks takes on Luis Castillo, and we get underway. 2 down here in the 1st, and Sydney has the bases empty. Up and away. And right down the middle that time. A good sinker. Ooh, that does not get the call. 3-1 to Sidney. Does he get anything to drive? He does, to right field. Into the corner, but enough room as the catch is made. I thought maybe. We've had a couple warning track fly balls, and a home run for the Reds puts them in front. It is 1-0. But now 2 in scoring position. Miguel Garcia already homered. And now 2 in range for him. Big at-bat here for Jordan Wicks. In the air, center field, Sidney. He's got it. And we've answered back. 1 apiece. Sidney facing Castillo again. Nice circle change. And fouled off that one to make it 0-2. Just a piece of it to keep the at-bat going. 3 changeups so far. He has a lot of confidence in that pitch right now. 1-2. Missing. Too low. 3-2. Really trying to attack low. Does he change it up here? Full count. Late. Waited a little bit too long on that one, and Sidney pops out. A good battle, though, with Castillo, as Arenado does it again. 4th homer of the series. 2-1 Cardinals. Sosa reaches via error, and Sidney now hoping to bounce back. Didn't do anything in Game 4. 0 for 2 in Game 5. And now a base hit to right field. Sosa slams on the brakes, and the first 2 reach here in the 6th. Arenado's turn. What a series he's putting together. He looked ice cold to start and now turns red hot. 2-0 from Castillo. And you do not want to load the bases here with nobody out. What a chance this has become for the Cardinals. There's a strike. Strike 2 on a fastball. 2-2 from Castillo. And he struck him out. Straight heat. And now it's up to Corey Dickerson. 5 hits in this series. Castillo trying to make it through the 6th. Now just 1 down. And it hits him. So with an error, a hit, and a hit by pitch, the bases are loaded for Paul Goldschmidt. They brought him here for moments like this. Goldschmidt foul. And a foul now to the backstop, strike 2. Castillo got it done against Arenado. And now facing Paul Goldschmidt. Strike 3 on the fastball. Joshua Baez. I think he's a rookie. And Castillo tries to end the 6th inning. Probably his last in this game. A lot of speed here on the base paths. 1-0. And a miss again. Jammed him. Popped up, but not catchable. Baez gets away with 1. 2-1. And it's in the air. Out to center field, but playable. And the inning comes to an end. Castillo gets through it. A single for Stevenson. A walk, strikeout. Max Schrock, Matt Strom. 2 on, 2 down, top of the 7th inning. Into shallow center. Sidney coming in. He makes the catch. And we move on to the bottom of the 7th inning. And we only get one base runner. So now we'll move to the 8th. Now it's low. Lefty ahead in the count. Towards Sidney again. He's going back. 5 outs left. Can we get there? 2-1 St. Louis. Looking for a reverse sweep. And they go down in order in the 8th inning. So now, bottom of the 8th. Joe Hamill facing Sidney Jean-Charles. Upstairs. And we're going to do this for the 9th inning. No simming. I'll be out there for every pitch in the 9th. But what's our lead going to be? 3-0. Sidney's had to be patient. A lot of walks and singles in this series. And a base hit to center field. Sidney will reach. And turns back after a hard turn. Nolan to the gap. And run down. Sidney turns back. And that one's popped up. They have not done great with Sidney on base today. But he's not been advanced very much beyond that. I wonder if we try to steal here again with 2 down. I'm trying to return, and we're just in time. Maybe I shouldn't steal. Maybe not here. Can Goldschmidt just send something to the gap? Let Sidney run. 2-0. I like stealing here. 2-0. Might get a hit and run. I'll pass. Strike 1. 3-1 now. And a walk for Goldschmidt. How about the young Joshua Baez? Out in front of it. Fouled back. And the 0-2 from Hamill. Jammed him. But could it fall in? It's a diving play. Could make the catch. Sidney scores. And it's a 3-1 ball game. Joshua Baez gave us a shot. Gotta make a tough diving play coming in from center, and he just can't squeeze it. And that one is foul. Wow. Dylan Carlson would have made it 5-1 if that stayed fair. Carlson chops it to the right side. And will take a 2-run lead into the 9th inning. Giovanni Gallegos, he's 2 for 2 in save opportunities. We'll be out here for every pitch. Got to focus up. Miguel Garcia has their only run of the day with a solo home run. Just a piece of that one there. It barely left the dish. Looking at a 2-2 count now to Miguel Garcia. And the count runs full. And the payoff pitch from Gallegos. That is hit to short. On one hop, one down. 2 outs to go. Here is the catcher, Tyler Stevenson. 1 for 3 on the day. Gallegos has fallen behind, 3-1. 12th pitch of the inning right here. And he does catch the outside part of the plate. I know this is tough to see. 3-2 now to Tyler Stevenson. And he waves at it. Strike 3. 2 outs for Gallegos. 1 more and we're moving on. What a series. We were on the verge of being swept until Nolan Arenado hit a grand slam. Senzel looks at strike one. Strike two swinging. Down to their last strike. Gallegos has closed both of our wins in this series. And now 0-2 inside. 18th pitch of the inning right here. Ground ball. Played at third. Arenado closes out the NLDS. And the Cardinals are moving on. What a 5-game series. Way more fun than last year's. This is far more enjoyable. As the Cardinals are moving on to the NLCS, we'll see who awaits them. There's a chance it's another division rematch. But we have pulled off the reverse sweep. We have avenged the losses of last year. And we are not done. You gotta love postseason baseball. And we're going to be taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Best of 7. That's going to be coming your way next time, everybody. We do have home field advantage. We'll have Steven Matz versus Walker Buehler in Game 1. Today, Sydney went 7 for 19 with a double and 2 home runs. Not a bad showing here. Very consistent with his regular season numbers. So that's 1 down. And that means that now it's us and the Dodgers. And then it's the Yankees and Cleveland. This is still the ALDS. So they're in it still. Toronto got knocked out, so Houston must still be in as well. Yeah. So that's your setup going into next episode. I hope you enjoyed the fun today, everybody. More Sydney coming your way soon. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think of our chances in the National League Championship Series. Have a great day, and I'll see you again next time.